decided to start up a new series which is going to center around players who have displayed their fair share of infantile moments. As in, they've probably had a major meltdown or two, might have tried their best impersonation of a soccer player on occasion, or couldn't take what they themselves dished out. And in Matthew Tkachuk's case, well, he's featured due to meeting all of the criteria. And with that, here are 5 select times that Matthew Tkachuk acted like a complete baby. Diving, an act that's not only illegal in the NHL rulebook, but also something that's often frowned upon by fans and officials alike. And while some players find themselves making a trip to the sin bin on occasion, after getting caught, there's always those instances where the embellishment goes unnoticed. And during a regular season meeting against the Winnipeg Jets, it was Tkachuk himself that was attempting to draw his own phantom penalty. During the remaining minutes of the first frame of play, as Mark Scheifele was moving up ice in anticipation of a cross-ice pass, Tkachuk, who on second glance appears to try and knock his opponent off balance first, ends up mysteriously tumbling down himself instead. Well, in hindsight, the ploy had to feel pretty futile, as the Jets were able to net one past Markstrom after a 2-on-1 situation developed. No call was ever made on the play. So, if you know anything about number 19's game, then you'll know that he's not at all shy about throwing his weight around on ice. In fact, Tkachuk has demonstrated a willingness and almost desire to mix it up with his opponents when the opportunities come about. Well, as you'll quickly realize, the theme of this video from now on is going to be don't dish it out if you can't take it in return. Anyways, during a regular season contest against the Vancouver Canucks, within the final seconds of the second period, Tkachuk, who was doing Tkachuk things in front of Vancouver's net, apparently caught the attention of defenseman Tyler Myers. Myers decided to insert himself into an ongoing confrontation by giving Tkachuk a shot right in the chin. Now, if we watch this closely, it's pretty clear that the mouth was not the principal point of contact, but yet Tkachuk is still wincing in pain, or so we think, while covering his face and most likely breathing in a not so pleasant smell. If you happen to be new to hockey, and you're wondering how and why Tkachuk has been dubbed Turtle Boy, don't worry, because we're going to be covering the subject extensively from here on out. Okay, so for the first turtling incident, we're heading back to 2018, when Tkachuk was just getting started on cementing his reputation as one of the biggest pests that the league had to offer. And, almost like clockwork, seemingly, the Battle of Alberta comes around, and Tkachuk always finds a way to mix it up with somebody. But early on in the 2018-19 season, that somebody happened to be heavyweight KASSIAN. Therefore, KASSIAN wasted no time when it came to confronting the helmetless Tkachuk, and began to dish out countless jabs to his opponent thereafter. And, per usual, just like we'll see again, Tkachuk's main defense against number 44 was to simply cover his head and assume the fetal position. One could say that last season, particularly due to the unique division alignment, rivalries between teams became much more pronounced than before. And when it came to the Calgary Flames and Toronto Maple Leafs, this became also true, as the bad blood between the two teams began to immediately boil over at the end of the Leafs' 4-3 win, after Jake Muzzin, who most likely was retaliating towards Tkachuk due to a previous incident involving Jack Campbell, decided to lightly shoot the puck at his opponent. Tkachuk immediately began seeing red, following a botched attempt at retaliation against Muzzin, who clearly wanted no part in the altercation, first on the bench door and then the drink holder, before angrily making his way to the locker room. As the story goes, once a turtle, always a turtle. After laying a few questionable hits on his opponent, Tkachuk had apparently poked one bear that decided to poke him back. But instead of just retribution here, well, KASSIAN became unhinged during the winding minutes of the second period. As, behind the Flames' cage, KASSIAN decided to let Tkachuk have everything that he could muster up, while in a frantic state. Tkachuk, who at first tried to evade the oncoming onslaught, found that he couldn't simply skate away out of this one, but rather his only available tactic yet again was to assume the turtle position, while getting ragdolled all over the ice. For his actions, KASSIAN received a 2-game suspension, and Tkachuk received, most likely, yet another blow to his ego.